Hello, welcome back to Vertius. Today we're going to be installing the fan handler continuous modulating air system on this heat pump evaporator. The first thing we want to do is turn off power to the evaporator and the condenser. So that's the inside unit and then the outside unit as well. The fan handler is a pretty ingenious piece of technology. It's basically a variable frequency drive for your permanent split capacitor motor that's in your evaporator. It modulates the fan speed based on the sensed temperature in the supply air duct. This capability is really helpful in many ways. The first one being that you can take advantage of affinity laws that dictate that fan speed is proportional to the cube of the power used to turn the fan. The other way this is helpful is it really enhances home comfort by allowing the air conditioner to continuously spread air around the house at a low speed so you can get rid of any hot or cold patches in the house. And then the third reason it's really highly recommended to install one of these is that it enhances any kind of indoor air quality IAQ equipment that you have installed on your unit, such as high performance filters or if you have any UV sterilization system in the supply air duct. Since the air is constantly moving through the system, you can take advantage of these indoor air quality systems that constantly need air moving through them. These two probes come with the fan handler. These two probes, they go right in the supply duct, and these are what sense the supply air temperature, which dictates your fan speed. And then, of course, I showed you this earlier. This is the heart of the fan handler system. This is the control box. And these wires hook up to power in your unit and also the fan wires, which I'll get into very soon. The first thing we need to do is take off the cover to the motor. The first thing we should do is figure out where we're going to mount the fan handler system. So there's really no room up here, so I think I'm going to mount it right on the side right here. Install the two temperature sensors up here right at the beginning of the supply duct. And I've just poked some holes through this duct work, and I'm just going to feed them through. So, there we go. So put that one right here. And then the next one, just go right next to it. Like so. And we have to eventually secure these with the two screw holes into the ductwork. I'll do that later. Actually, for some simplicity's sake, I'm just going to do this right now. So I have some of this silver duct foil tape, and I'm just going to apply it around the two temperature sensors. Like so. And it even matches the duct tape that's already installed up there. There we go. Got that up there. Next thing we're going to do is temporarily mount the fan handler right here. And how we're going to do this, since I don't have any sheet metal screws right now, is I'm going to cut a slit in this insulation and slide the bottom bracket of the fan handler in there. And then on the top, I'm just going to apply a piece of that duct tape, and it'll hold up there. This is only temporary. I do have to get sheet metal screws so I can permanently mount it in there. There we go. We're going to feed it through this, we're going to feed these wires through this hole in the cabinet, so I want to make sure not to cover that up. So just push it down a little bit. Again, this is temporary, so it won't look like this once we're done. And now we're going to feed all these wires through the hole that was provided by the installer. So now our wires are on the other side here, and we can wire them up with these guys on the outside of the cabinet. So now our wires are on the other side here, and we will be able to wire them up with the sensor wires on the outside of the cabinet. So let's get started on this. All we have to do is hook up the yellow wires with the yellow wires. It does not matter which side they go on. These sensors up here, the sensors up here in the duct are simply resistors that measure the temperature, or thermistors or something. So it does not matter. The polarity does not matter at all. It's just basically a resistor in the circuit. And now let's do the blue wires. It's a little tight, so there we go. And now our last sensor wire connection right here. Yeah, that is very tight. Yep, so that is a little too short, so we might have to reconfigure the sensor location up here. So I ended up just moving the blue sensor over about 1.5 inches, and I believe we have enough length on this to just slip back there. Might not. I might have to move it over even more. Unfortunately, the suction line is kind of in the way, so I can't really move it up too much. All right, so I've already taken the liberty of cutting our common wire, which is in this case is our purple wire right here. So this wire goes to the motor down here, and at the other end it goes to the relay and transformer. So what we're going to do with this is we're going to take our red wire and attach it to the motor side of this purple wire. So red wire to the motor side of the common wire that we just cut. And then the black wire, which comes out of the same hole on the fan handler, that'll go to the other side, the control board side of the purple wire. This black wire, which I've cut, goes from the speed selector we have up here to the motor. And we cut it, but we only cut it so we can tap this blue wire into this line. This blue wire is used for shunting radio frequency interference. So it just has to tap in to the wire coming from the speed selector board. Got to get all three of these wires in this one wire nut. It's a little tight. And finally, the green wire is the ground. We're just going to attach the ground right here to where the fan motor grounds to the blower shroud. There we go. So now our fan handler installation is complete, except for the final touches with mounting and cleaning up the wires. I'm going to clean up the wires right now, however the mounting is going to have to wait. Now we're just going to wait for the thermostat to restart, and then we'll see how it runs. So as you can hear, hopefully, the motor now has a really slow and smooth ramp up to its low speed, which I believe is about 30% default from the factory. And then when cooling kicks in, as more refrigerant begins to cool down the incoming air, the fan speed slowly picks up. It tries to maintain about a 55-degree supply air temperature. So we'll see in a second that it slowly ramps up speed. So the condenser just turned on. There's always a delay with the condenser for some reason, for about a minute whenever I turn off the circuit breaker. So the condenser just turned on, and you can hear the fan staying at the same speed for now, but it will slowly ramp up. Just for reference, I kind of want to demonstrate this before we get too far into this cooling cycle. But generally my humidity is around 48 to 50 degrees. Obviously it's a little higher because the AC has been off because I've been working on this. So generally, so you just jumped up to 61 because we're in the air handler closet. It's a little bit more humid in here, but generally I see 48 to 50 degrees at around 76 degrees Fahrenheit during the day. So ignore this number right now because it's confused, but just because we're right by the AC and it's a little humid in here. But it'll be interesting to see how this goes down over the next 24 hours. I think it will, just because this the fan handler is going to do a better job of removing moisture from the air. So keep an eye on that. As you can hear, the fan speed has picked up a little bit. The temperature on my thermometer that I have in the supply air duct is reading 56 degrees, so the fan speed should level out around here. According to my thermometer in the supply air duct, the temperature is 57 degrees, so it should hold steady. The fan speed should start leveling out around here once it hits 55 degrees. The last thing we have to do is screw this back on. I hope you got some good information out of this video. I hope it was an entertaining video. Please like and subscribe if you found this useful. The fan handler, I've been wanting to get this for years, and I'm really glad I finally got the opportunity to install it on my own unit. In a few weeks, I'm going to take another look at the fan handler and see how the energy use varies with the speed of the fan. And also, I'm going to look at how it affects the humidity in my home. So make sure to subscribe so you can get a notification for that video when it comes out. Thank you very much for watching.